It just feels like a great day to start our tomato seed. I usually start my tomatoes somewhere around Valentine's Day because that's my birthday and that's when I remember to do it. But it's February 16th and we are starting tomatoes today. And for reference, I'm in Zone 8B in Northeast Texas. My last frost date is supposed to be March 27th. So look at your last frost date and see if you're about 6 to 8 weeks from your last frost date. I like starting them in these smaller cells that have a dome so I can keep the humidity in, because you're going to put them on a heat mat. And on a heat mat without a dome, your seed soil will dry out and you want them to stay moist until your little baby plants come up. And usually once they come up, you see I need to uncover these because they're getting a little tall. Once they come up, I usually go ahead and take them out of this seed stole, and just like I did my peppers here and my eggplants, I will pot them up in these larger cups because I do want my tomatoes, eggplants, and peppers to have a really good root system when I put them in the ground. That's just my preference. This is my eggplant. Do y'all remember when we started these the middle of January? This was the first succession. I actually need to raise my lights. And this was the second succession that I started. They're not quite as big, but they're still doing really well. I do place them under lights, and this is one of my lights. I have flowers outside right now getting hardened off, but I have this light set, and then I also have these LED light sets that are new this year. I have both of these sets listed, you know where, as well as these exact containers and the heat mat. Look at my salvias. These are to border my garden. While this is a pepper, your tomatoes will grow pretty fast as well once you pot them up. If you keep them in the smaller cells, they tend to stay a little bit smaller, but if you go ahead and pot them up, they're going to get a little bit better root system. I do put a hole in the bottom of these cups, sit them over in a tray so I can bottom water, and I just reuse these from year to year. When I pot those up, I pot them up in regular potting mix, and I do add worm castings. And I found this year, and it'll be in that same place. This was really economical for this size bag, which is a natural fertilizer. I do also use sometimes fish fertilizer or kelp meal because the seaweed doesn't smell quite as bad as the fish emulsion. The longer they are in the cups before you plant them out, the more likelihood it is you may need to give them a little fertilizer. I have some favorites that I grow every year. I used to try to grow them all. I finally got to where, I can't eat that many. I now grow a bed of Roma's type tomatoes for my sauces, and then I grow slicers and some cherry tomatoes for fresh eating and for my salads, and I just grow the ones that were my favorites. And I no longer feel the need to grow 50 different types of tomatoes. Nowadays, it is more about what will we actually eat and what is the best for my preservation methods, and how can I better utilize my garden space to provide food for my family throughout the year.